afternoon, everybody. This is Robert Weichelt with another episode of Weichelt Wednesday. I got to tell you, this is a very special day. I've got a special guest, and I can't wait to introduce her. Cindy Thornberry, CJ Brogan. Cindy, I've known Cindy, CJ, for Cindy. How long has it been? 34 years. Carla and I have been married. You were at our wedding.
Yes,
and we
I
knew
was.
each other for a couple years before that. So let's just say this: we've been friends for a minute. And I'm super grateful that CJ has some time to spend with us. She's going to share some really, really exciting goodies. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Who's CJ Brogan?
All right. I know inquiring minds want to know. And I actually have a brief slide presentation to share with you so you can see who CJ is, because you know what? It's all about telling the story and bringing people into the story. And I've made it a story. So you get to see who is CJ Brogan. And like I said, I've known Robert for a long time. We've been in the business. Robert, let me get rid of my floating controls so I don't have to scooch through, and move it all over the screen. So I want you to think back. What were you doing in 1987?
That's a question for me. It's like, that's too far. I don't even know what I had for breakfast.
What were you doing? Were you in kindergarten, elementary school, high school, college? Were you a gleam in your daddy's eye and weren't even here? I want you to think back. What were you doing in 1987? Because I'm going to take you through a few things. 1987 is when Ronald Reagan said to Mikhail Gorbachev, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That was in 1987. Seems like yesterday. How about when Phil Simms with the New York Giants won the Super Bowl? That is the very first time they coined the phrase, Phil Simms, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do now? And he said, I'm going to Disney World. So that was in 1987. Been around since then. And I don't even know if they still do that, Robert. And then this one, I remember when computers actually looked like that. That's the Atari. But what happened in 1987 that's significant there is that is the first recorded episode of a virus. And that was prior to being on the internet. So the viruses pass from floppy disk to floppy disk. And that's where the floppy disk spot right there. And we all, well, maybe all of us don't remember floppy disks, but I do. Okay. So, and also in 1987, a small title company in La Mesa, California hired me as a title sales rep. So I started out in title and learned everything from the ground up. This is when, if you ordered a property profile, customer service would pull the deeds, the grant deeds and the trust deeds from microfiche. They put in an order for the crew in the back to pull all those documents on microfiche, make copies of it, attach it to the property profile. And if you had a really great title rep, like Robert Weichelt back in the day, he would be hand delivering that property profile to you that day. Okay. Most people had to wait a day because it would be sent out in messenger service, but that's way back when everything was done on microfiche, and we didn't know that we had it tough back then. Okay, so the small title company was Terra Title at 7474 El Cajon Boulevard. Before it morphed into Orange Coast Title, eventually absorbed that, and then that has changed. So that's where I started. That's where I got my start.
Do you remember when they answered the phone and it first changed from Terra Title when Bob Adams was in there smoking in his office? They changed it to thank you for calling Orange Coast Terra Title. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Like, wait, what? People would be like, wait, what? Say that again? So yeah, I remember. And if you notice, that's 2 stories. That was a 2-story building, and we took up both stories and had a night crew that worked through the night to pull documents and deeds and things for title searches. There are no title companies around these days that take up an entire floor, let alone 2 whole floors of a building. Okay. But that's where Robert and I both kind of got our start.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I was always the rep that leaned into technology. Okay. The MLS was still delivered in books. If you ordered a farm package, eventually you could view it on a computer like this, and your farm package came on a floppy disk like this. At first, that's the 5 1/4. These are the big ones. I never really had to use the great big floppy disks, but then the 5 1/4 and then the 3 1/2. So you'd order a farm package and it would come on this disk and pop it in, and it was all DOS based. Okay. So I eventually was working for a company called Commonwealth, and Commonwealth was the first title company with an online property profile site, and it was called Night Owl, nightowl.net. And that was important because if you went to nightowl.com, that took you to a porno site. So Night Owl, yeah, nightowl.net was the online property profiles. And I was a master at that, as well as the DOS-based farming system. So Commonwealth asked me to give up my position as a title rep and become the field trainer for all things technology. So that's where I leaned into the tech. I almost had to wait for computers to be invented to do what I do now. I taught the MLS when it was DOS, when it was Lightning and Compass. And Robert, if you can believe this, when you would do a search, you would type in BDR greater than symbol equal to or greater than 2 if you wanted a 2-bedroom plus. And you would have to type in BTH for bathroom, ZIP equals. It was all DOS hand commands like that. And I taught that till it became Sandicor and then Tempo. And then before Zip Forms was around, it was called WinForms. So I taught all of that. And what was awesome about that is I got to learn, absorb, and learn it well enough to teach one program at a time. I got to grow with the technology. Okay. So that has blossomed into me working at a company now called MyHome. And these people do what I do all over the country. I call them my homies, but they're all technology, marketing, and how it relates to real estate. So it's marketing and technology in the real estate space. Okay. And it's a WFG company, a Williston Financial Group company. We're all under the WFG umbrella with like WFG national title. So anytime I get asked a question that I don't know the answer to, I know where I can find the answer. But like I said, anybody coming into the business right now, even the 20s and 30-year-olds, it's really tough when it comes to absorbing all the technology that's out there, because it's like drinking through a fire hose and filtering out all the noise and the things on the periphery that you don't really need to know. It's my job. I get to look at stuff and figure out, is there a real estate application for this? So I'm constantly learning. I've got all 30 years of background to fall on. As this whole industry has grown and morphed, I've grown and morphed with it. And so, yeah, people look at me. I walk into the room to teach an Instagram class and they're like, she's so old. What's she going to teach me? Fasten your seatbelts, people. Okay, so this is how far back Robert and I go. This is a picture from his wedding. How do I know that? Because his wife, Carla, sent this to me several years ago. It's a picture of the picture, and I can tell it was probably in a picture book because I can see some reflections on it. But yeah, I've morphed a lot since that picture. But when you brought that up, I was like, oh, he's going to crack up when he sees that I've got that picture up there. So yeah, we've come a long way, Robert, you and I, and we still know each other, value each other's friendship, and we want to bring what's best for our clients and colleagues out there. So that's who CJ Brogan is.
You know what, I got to tell you, that is brings back some really special memories. We've known each other a long time, and you've always been so far advanced. I don't consider myself a technology guy. That's why I have you on Weichelt Wednesday. I want you to share the tools and all the things you've got going on. And so thank you for that walk down memory lane. And It's wow. Terra Orange Coast, Terra Title, 74 El Cajon Boulevard, right there. And you just roll in, pick up your profiles and get back out and hand deliver them. That was actually in my territory. So I was the lucky one there. And I tell you, that brings back great memories. So Cindy, thank you for that. So let's talk about this. You have a couple things you want to share with the audience, a couple tools that you want to share. Why don't we jump right into that?
Okay. So I think one of the overlooked platforms that are out, overlooked yet very valuable and doesn't cost you a dime, but it helps you get found, is your Google business profile. And I have a class. I'm not going to teach the entire class today because we don't have time, but you can always get on a list to be emailed anytime I'm teaching a class that might interest you. And Robert will be sharing that information with everybody, how to get on the list to be invited to a full class. Our time's a little limited, and I have a reputation for oversharing a little. It's like, okay, that's a whole lot of information, CJ. I don't want your head to explode. Okay, so let me launch into this presentation. And one of the great things about my presentations is after you attend one, you don't have, well, during the whole class, you don't have to take furious, copious notes and try to do screenshots and try to record what I'm saying or anything, because my follow-up that you get at the end opens up, you get my entire presentation, my slide deck, without my high squeaky voice talking in the background. You just get to go through the slides, and inside the slides, I have how-to videos. So when you need to know, how do I send a review request out from my Google business profile and make sure that it's going to be seen, I actually have the recorded video in there. So you don't have to listen to a great big long recap of the class. You go right to the part that you need help with. So when you see this, I'm going to skip through some of the videos because I'm here and you can get the follow-up. But like I said, I'm with MyHome. I always launch into this at my classes, so you see the relationship between me and Williston Financial Group. Again, these are my homies. When you get the slide, you can also click on the blog up here that takes you to our Tech Talk blog, which you can use any of the articles that you see and like yourself out on your own social media platforms. Okay, so what does Google reward? Okay. And when I say reward, it's like, what does Google look for so that they can take what you're offering and serve it up to people that are looking for what you have to offer? Okay. So they reward a complete business description. Every place that there's a field that Google's giving you to fill out, don't skip it. Put something in there. Okay. Because when they crawl through to index your business profile, they're looking for complete business description. Use ChatGPT to write your business description. And when you prompt ChatGPT, you can tell them, act as a real estate agent, a successful real estate agent, and write a Google business description profile using keywords that home sellers and buyers use when they search for a real estate agent. ChatGPT will write that business description for you. Okay. One thing you don't want to skip over is the putting in your DRE number. If you are a California real estate agent, you must have your DRE number on everything. If I worked for the DRE and went through just searching for real estate agents in California today, I could levy so many fines because real estate agents don't list their DRE number, and it needs to go in the business description first. That way the DRE doesn't have to dig through and look for it, because Google doesn't give you a field for it. So it's easy to forget, okay? Google rewards reviews. It's the only site where reviews help your SEO. If you've got 200 reviews on Zillow, good for you. That's great. But those 200 reviews do not help you get found faster. I mean, it doesn't make you more searchable. So SEO doesn't pick up on Zillow reviews. Okay. What can help though is if when you set up your Google business profile, you use the same name, address, phone, email address as what's on your Zillow profile, as close as possible to that. Because then Google connects the dots and it will show other reviews from the web which will link to your Zillow profile with your reviews. It doesn't help your SEO. 20 reviews on Google are better than 200 reviews on Zillow when it comes to SEO and getting placed, okay? Services with descriptions. What do you do? What services you offer? And in the whole class that I teach, I show you how to go in and prompt ChatGPT to write your service descriptions for you by prompting it, what are people looking for? If you're a home seller, what are you looking for? Use those words in my service description. Geotagging photos. What's a geotagged photo? Geotagging your photos means there's a longitude and latitude on the photo file. Google sees that. Okay, nobody else sees it, but Google sees it and really makes a notation that you are hyper local. Okay, posting on Google, just like posting on Facebook or Instagram, you want to make sure you post on your Google business profile at least 3 times a week. And what's nice is when you post something on Google, it will interface with Facebook. So you can post it on Facebook right as you're in your Google post, okay? And then product postings. Well, what do you mean a product post? I'm not selling ladies' handbags or men's belts, okay? What do you mean products? If you have a website that gives people the ability to search for properties for sale, that's a product. If you have a mortgage calculator, that's a product. If you've got a your home valuation capabilities on your website, if you've got a blog, those are all products that you can put with your Google business profile. Okay, so those are the things that Google rewards. Okay,
is your knowledge panel completely filled out? Have you?
So when you, let me back this up because I'm not going to play this whole video for you, but when you log into your business profile, I have a real estate agent's account up here because I am on there as an admin. So I use her stuff in my classes. So then I'm not putting real estate stuff on my business profile. I use her business profile to demonstrate things that I want to talk about and demo. And she gets to benefit from all the great stuff that I'm doing on her profile. So what you want to do is make sure that you are logged into your Google account. How do I know I'm logged into mine? Because there's my little CJ moniker right there. You'll have your initials or your headshot right there. Okay. And you want, how many people have multiple Gmail accounts? Robert, how many Gmail addresses do you have?
I think I have a few, but I only use one for my YouTube.
You only need one.
Yeah.
And what happens is people will think that they need separate Gmail addresses for the different profiles they have. Everything falls under one email address. Okay. And if you're a HomeSnap hostage and you had HomeSnap create your Google business profile for you, it's their email address, which means you cannot log into your Google profile dashboard. Okay. So to edit your profile.
Is your knowledge panel completely filled out? Have you gone down into your business description here and completely filled this out? Used all 750 characters that you get. One of the things that you want to make sure that you add is your DRE number. I can't tell you how many.
So I'm going to zip through that.
We're going to come up into
the dashboard. Because when you log into your Google business profile, your panel will be over here on the right. And then these are all of your controls. This is where you go to edit your profile. Let me warn you, do not go in and change your business name and then change your address at the same time. If you've had a change, let's say you were CJ Brogan at Compass, okay? And that was part of my business name, CJ Brogan Realtor Compass. I do not recommend that you do that, because what happens when you decide you want to go to EXP? Now you have to go into your Google business profile and change CJ Brogan Realtor, EXP. I recommend, just like your Zillow profile, like I said earlier, CJ Brogan Realtor, or just CJ Brogan. Then it's yours. It travels with you wherever you go. You do not have to change your business name, because you have to think like Google. Google is looking to spot fraud. If you keep changing your business name, Or if you're, that's a big change to go from, brokerages like that and have that as part of your business name. Your account's probably going to get suspended. So if you do have to change your business name, you change it and your account goes pending and you wait. You wait until Google approves it before you change anything. After you're back reinstated and verified, then you go back in and change your mailing address. Okay? If you change both of those things at the same time, guaranteed you're going to get suspended. So anyway, to edit any other things on your Google business profile, this is your dashboard, and that's where you go to find the different tools. There's a little drop down arrow right here. It's a little drop down caret. That indicates there's more items under there. So there are 2 more items under there that you can go to for other things in your Google business profile. So
this is a relatively new item that Google has added so that you can add these to your Google business profile. So first have your dashboard up, and you're going to want to pre-prepare for this and have your Facebook profile open, your Instagram profile open, LinkedIn, YouTube, any one of the profiles that you want to link to from your Google business profile. So from here, we're going to go to edit profile. And again, if you didn't know this was here, don't feel bad. It's relatively new and they did a slow rollout, but you're going to scroll down here to social profiles and click the little pencil. We're going to add our social profile, and I'm just going to grab them as I see them. And then I'm going to come back up here to Facebook. I'm already in my business profile, and I'm going to copy that, come back to my, copy the link, come back to my business profile and paste it in.
Now, if you're thinking, I don't ever post on my business profile, I just have it there, but I do all my business on my personal, put your personal link in there as well. Okay. Just so you know, you can do that. And then you'd go through and then you'd add the next one. You'd hit add social profile and you do Instagram. And then paste your Instagram profile link over there. And then you go down and choose YouTube and put your YouTube link over there. I really recommend that you get your YouTube link on there. And one of the reasons is because Google owns YouTube. It's going to shine its algorithm light on you a little more and give you some love if you put YouTube on your Google business profile also. Okay. So the ones that I use that I recommend are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Those 4. And that's because I'm active on all 4 platforms. I have TikTok. I know how to use TikTok, but I'm not active on TikTok. My audience isn't over there. I don't have, who's my audience? You guys. My real estate professionals out there are my audience in San Diego. So I don't think many of you go on there looking for marketing help over there. You go over there to be entertained. Okay. Not to get information. So that's why I'm not on TikTok. But hey, there's another generation that may have a whole audience on TikTok, and that's where they are. My point is, if you're not active on TikTok, don't use that as a social link. If you're not active on X, formerly Twitter, don't put it up there. But if you are active, then put that in there as a social media profile link. Okay. And then there's a whole
You're not going crazy.
This is important. Sending review requests, and it's because Google has made this as confusing as possible. And if I had a whole room full of you here on the call, I would say anybody that's sent a review request link to your client, they wrote a glowing review and then Google didn't show it, I am willing to bet 3 would raise your hand and say, yeah, that's happened to me. Yeah. How do I get that review to display? Okay. If you have less than 5 reviews on your Google business profile, 5 or less, you cannot use the review link that Google tells you to use. Okay. So listen, watch this video, and then I'll see if you have got questions on this on the other end of this, Robert.
Crazy. Google has changed so much with the Google business profiles. This is my Google business profile page. And what I'm finding is now that you have all of the controls at your fingertips, once you identify your profile, you want to make sure you're logged into the Google account that manages your Google business profile, and Google your business name or just type in my business and this will come up. Your knowledge panel on the right, and all of your controls over here to the left. So how do we send a review request? What I'm finding is that when you use the Get More Reviews link that Google's giving you right here, when you copy and paste that link and send it to your clients right there, Google's not showing those reviews.
5 or less.
And you can see that review is at the end of that address. So for those of you that have been experiencing problems with getting your Google reviews to show, what I want to show you to do is once you've identified your Google business page, click Maps, and let's look at it on the Maps. And the Maps section is going to show right here. And there's my business profile and my maps. If you will scroll down, or you can see it right here, the little share chevron right there. Let's click share and copy that link. You can see that that link is different. It doesn't have the review on the end of it. So you're going to copy that link and paste it into an email and instruct your client when they follow that link. When they follow that link, it will take them right to the profile, just like this. And you're going to instruct them to scroll down until they get to where they can leave a review. Now, they will have write a review button right there. I don't have a write a review button because I'm logged into my profile. They will have a write a review
I'm
button.
going to show you that.
And just to show you that I'm not crazy, I'm going to paste that link here and go
Because I'm incognito.
to where your
logged out of my
client
account.
would go when you send them a link, because now I have logged out of my Google account and I'm scrolling down. And so your client will come down to where the reviews are, and you can see they now have that write a review button. I'm finding when clients follow this procedure to ask for a review,
100%, your review will show. Whether you have 5 reviews or 500 reviews, that method works either way. But the first method you can use if you've got more than 5 reviews, I would say 6. If you've got 6 reviews, you can send the Google link that Google's giving you to get more reviews. But if you've got less, then you want to use this method. Okay. Robert, did you have a question there? Or are you good?
You know what? I was, you have so much good stuff, and I was hoping that we just give them a couple of nuggets. And then what we want to do is we want to invite them to your full class. We want to invite them to your full class because you got so much stuff. It was funny as I was sitting here writing all these notes, totally forgot that I'm actually interviewing you. I'm sitting there taking all these notes like I'm a student in your class. And one thing I can say is you're so entertaining. You're so smart. And I'm not just saying that. This is absolutely every single agent, no matter what their experience, needs to be on some of your courses, all of your courses, one bite at a time. That's how you eat that elephant. So what I want to do is I want to invite folks to come back. So we know who CJ is. Now we know what she has to offer. And I'll tell you what, I have some work to do. So with that said, CJ, I'd love to have you back on, and I'd love to really do a deep dive back into the Google business page. I'd really want to do a deep dive into your AI and your Chat GPT and all the other tools that you have as many times as it takes. But I'm going to invite the folks that are listening to this, reach out to me. Let's get you on that guest list. So when we put these classes together, you know when they are. So
and they can get the follow-up. So they get the slide deck with all the how-to videos in it afterwards. Because that's key, because there's no way you can absorb all of this and then implement it from sitting in my class.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and reach out to folks. So if you're watching this, reach out to me so we can get you on the guest list for some of the CJ's up and coming trainings. So with that said, CJ, what in closing would you like to say? What's the message you want to say to the agent that's tuning into this right now?
Before you start throwing money at Google ads, Facebook ads and Instagram ads, fully explore and expand all the free tools first before you spend anything. And so many people will just, get a hold of Google and sign up to be a local service agent, a local service ad, which you're going to pay for. And that doesn't get you found like it does having a complete, fully done Google business profile. And so few people know how to really make it complete.
I love it. Well, you know what, guys, you've heard it here first. CJ, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I literally I'm actually cracking up inside because I'm sitting there taking notes and totally forgot we're even on an interview. This is great. So thank you so much. Folks that are paying attention to this, watching this, reach out to me. Let's get you on that guest list. We've got some great training coming up. CJ, it's been a blast. I love catching up. I can't wait to our next training.
All right. Got it.
Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Weichelt Wednesday. Make today great.